No, horse poo doesn't smell. Well, this horse poo doesn't at least. So it's not like I'm just used to the smell of poo. So now we can move on to the fifth and, as of right now, final bed. And there you go, with the tree at the end. I don't know if you can see that very well. Let me focus on it. There you go, so you got the tree on the end. Hello everyone, welcome back to Alfie's Agriculture. In today's video, we are finishing off the fourth bed and hopefully finishing, or building and finishing the fifth bed, which will be the last bed. Lord knows, we all know, we've spent enough time, enough weeks on these beds now. We just want to finish them and do something else. So yeah, we left off last week. We've finished building this bed and we've filled it with mud from the pathway between mine and my mother's plots just here. As you can see, just about there, that's where it drops off below the ground sheet. So I'm going to lift that back up and take some more from there for the next bed. But for this, it's got enough of the mud, like the bad dirt, bad soil, and then we're going to use some topsoil just to top it off from the raised beds on my mother's plot that she doesn't need anymore. And then we'll do the same for the next bed. But I want to finish off this bed first before I build the next one, just because then it gives me access over here to get to it with the wheelbarrow to tip out over the dirt into the bed. Because once the next bed's constructed, I won't have much space. So we'll do that first. I've also got some horse manure from a local horse owner or stable or something, I don't know. So I'm just going to tip that on top before I put the topsoil on as well, just because it's good to fertilise the ground. And for anyone that isn't aware, no, horse poo doesn't smell. Well, this horse poo doesn't at least. So it's not like I'm just used to the smell of poo. Horses have a very fibrous diet. They don't eat processed foods like we do. So their manure doesn't smell as much. Lovely. It's all mixed. Next order of business is topsoil. So this is the raised bed that I'm going to be taking the soil out of on my mother's plot. So there's a bunch of weeds in there, so I'm just going to go grab the trowel and then we'll dig these weeds out before we start digging the soil. Okay, so we'll dig these out. There you go, that should be enough for the bed. So now I get the rake and rake it out. Lovely, that bed's done. So now we can move on to the fifth and, as of right now, final bed. We do have space for a sixth bed, in case I haven't said that already. I probably have, but we're not building that because we don't have the resources, and also don't really need to yet, but maybe next season I'll build it. So the next bed's going to go along here, but as you can see there's a tree there, and there's a little tree here, so I need to dig these up, and then replant them somewhere else. That tree at the end I might leave in, just have that within the bed, build it into the bed, you know. But this small one here, it's not gonna last if it stays there. So I'm gonna have to replant it somewhere else. So I'm gonna dig that up now. So for this little tree just down here, I found a pot in the potting shed. It should be big enough for the roots of that tree because it's quite a small tree compared to this pot. So I might just put it in this pot for now, keep it alive before we replant it somewhere else. So I'm cutting about 6 inches away from the tree. I'm cutting the ground sheet about 6 inches in each direction away from the tree, just so it opens up and gives me space to get in there with the pitchfork to dig the tree out. So now I should be able to go in and encourage the tree out. If I just go from opposite directions, working my way around, gently lifting the tree out a little bit at a time. Hopefully it should keep the roots intact so the tree can be relocated. Lovely. There you go, so it's got a bunch of roots on it still. So that can go into that pot with some dirt. It can go in there. So now that the small tree's out, I will clear this area and we will start laying out the final sleepers for this final bed. And yeah, this bigger tree here is going to stay. I'm not sure what type of tree it is, but it's too large to be worth moving basically. So I'm just going to leave it there and it'll be within the bed at the end, which could be a little cool little feature, you know? But yeah, I'll go and get the wood for the final bed. Lovely. You got the knife? So yeah, we've built the 5th bed, and there you go, got the tree at the end. I don't know if you can see that very well. Let me focus on it. There you go, so you got the tree on the end, which we're going to leave in the bed, and I've also cut down the middle of the ground sheet, and then we can fold that over, and then we can turn that earth in there when we put more off on top, so then it's connected to the ground, because these two are built with the smaller sleepers, so then they're quite shallow, so we just added to connect them to the ground as well, so then there's more space for the roots to grow, whereas these three with the larger old style sleepers are separated from the ground with weed membrane. But we're going to leave it there for today. I'm not going to fill in any of the dirt in here today. We'll do that next time that we're down. So yeah, that's everything for today's video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like as always. Leave a comment of what you'd like to see next and any advice that you have for me, as I'm quite new to this. And as always, if you want to support the channel, you can go to the Amazon wishlist at the top of the description and purchase some items for the allotment if you choose so. Or you can just keep supporting the channel this way. So leave a subscribe, leave comments and share it with your friends. That always helps a bunch as well. But yeah, next time we should be able to fill this last bed with dirt, and once that's built we can wood chip around them and start doing some more fun stuff, because this is very repetitive. But yeah, as always, adios and deuces.